Hello ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome back to the Quick Take and welcome back to a brand new video on the channel. We are finally in a winning position. We have won a game. We beat Brighton 1-0 in the Carabao Cup third round. Let's get into it. Before I continue, I would like to quickly remind you I am running a giveaway with ownasaber.com where at 15,000 subscribers you could be in with a chance at winning the King of London lightsaber, the perfect saber for every Chelsea fan. 3 participants will be chosen and all you have to do to enter is subscribe to the channel and check the pinned comment down below for more information. And with that, on with the video. I had a weird moment at the full-time whistle because I had forgotten what it felt like to win a game. It has been so long since Chelsea have won a game and actually took it by the scruff of the neck. It was a smash and grab. There were times in the game where it seemed a little bit on edge. You know, Chelsea were hanging on. Sanchez made a few good saves, but also his distribution was quite poor during the game. I don't want to focus on the negatives too much. This is a positive video. We won a game. We scored a goal. Our striker scored a goal, which is brilliant, by the way. I got some flack on Twitter because I was letting people know that Šeško and Osimhen had scored, which they have. Šeško, I think, got man of the match last night. And all the stuff with Osimhen's going on, I'll probably make a video about that separately. But Nicholas Jackson scored a goal. He actually scored 2 goals. It should have been 2 goals because the second one, although it was chalked off for offside, he was onside, and then Pochettino made a big noise about it, as you would, defending your team, and he got booked, but that was a whole thing. But Nicholas Jackson, good goal. That will do his confidence a world of good, and we need strikers with confidence because that is exactly what this front line has been missing. And he played really well, surprisingly, with a number 10 behind him. It's almost as if you play a number 8 at number 10, you don't get the best out of your striker. I'm not saying Enzo Fernandez is a bad player, but it's like saying, well, Neuer's not a very good player because he can't play on the wing. You know, you're playing your player out of position. You got to play Enzo Fernandez slightly deeper to link up the play between the defense and the attack as that funnel for creativity. But as I said, Cole Palmer started today. Fantastic news. And he had a brilliant game. Very happy to see him playing well. I was frustrated that he was brought so late into the window when players like Mohamed Kudus went to West Ham and Xavi Simons to RB Leipzig and such. But to see Cole Palmer play the way he did, brilliant. And to know that he's basically he's definitely impressed the coach enough to the point where he'll be starting for the games coming forward, which means that I think we're at a turning point here. We had a terrible start to the season. I think it was one of the worst starts to the season in many years. I don't even want to get into it, but to now have players playing in the right position and to see Pochettino trying different things and having Mudryk playing, I think that's now 3 games in a row he started, and he's getting better every single game. And he was really good again against Brighton. But he wasn't the only player that was really good against Brighton. Interestingly, Marc Cucurella had a fantastic game. I think on FOTMob he's joint highest rated with Nicholas Jackson, but he did get the nod for player of the match on FOTMob, which is an app I use. I'm not sponsored by them, hopefully one day, or maybe OneFootball, but it does show here that he did get an 8.1 rating, which is fantastic. Let's have a look at some of the stats here. Played 90 minutes, 26 out of 32 accurate passes, 68 touches, 4 out of 5 accurate long balls, 6 out of 9 tackles won, ground duels won, 11 out of 13, that's an 85%, aerial duels won, 2 out of 3, was fouled twice and didn't commit any fouls. Fantastic. He had the most tackles in the game and he won the most duels, 13 in the game. He had a really good game and I'm surprised by that. I've always quite liked Marc Cucurella. I think it was against Dortmund last season. He had a man of the match performance playing at left centre back, and obviously Levi Colwill is now in the side and is playing left centre back, and in fact had a brilliant game. Let's go over his stats. 31 out of 39 passes, 2 clearances, 2 interceptions, 3 out of 4 duels won, and 7 recoveries. That is coming from CFC Pice, and the stats coming from Chelsea FC as well. Which is just fantastic. He's actually playing in his position. He's not playing left back. He's playing left centre back. We are in a turning point, and I think our next game is against Fulham. It'll be very interesting to see how we perform against them. We obviously won the game, and Brighton did have their chances, but I think a big part as to how we won the game is to how we set up, and maybe because we aren't as together and in motion as a team like Manchester City when it comes Robert De Zerbi's Brighton when it comes to tactical awareness, because the side is so inexperienced and because there's so many players that have been brought in that need to gel together. But what this has done is it has created a system that doesn't press very well or doesn't press that often at this stage in time. Obviously, once the players get to know the philosophy a bit more, there will be more pressing, and we will be up there with the likes of Man United and Arsenal and such. When in terms of quality you see on the field, we will get there. We will get there, trust me. But because we aren't pressing like a Manchester City, like an Arsenal, we basically did what West Ham did. West Ham don't really press that much. And they were able to beat Brighton this season. That was Brighton's only loss to West Ham. And the same can be said for us. We didn't press Brighton that well or that much. And Brighton really get a hold on the game and really grow into the game when playing through the press. It's the opponents pressing Brighton that creates space and chances for Brighton. That's how they play. Because we didn't make that press, they actually didn't have as many chances as they would against a higher level of competition or a team that is more aware and more in line with the manager's philosophy. So in a sense, inexperience actually won us the game, strangely enough. I know it sounds weird, but I actually think that's my take on it. When I was watching, I definitely noticed that. And in my pre-game, I did bring up how De Zerbi plays, and they're playing out from the back philosophy, the box passing lanes. If you're not pressing, if the attackers aren't really pressing the defenders that much, it doesn't open up the space. The defenders it's not like they don't know what they're doing, but they have to go to plan B. And obviously plan B is never as good as plan A. So I think that's where we managed to get Brighton unstuck during the game. Some other stuff that happened during the game, Ben Chilwell did pick up an injury, which is kind of annoying. Hopefully that means we see Ian Maatsen a bit more, and Marc Cucurella should continue to play at right back. I don't think we should sell him. As I said, I quite like him. He won't be playing left centre-back, and if he wants to play left-back and Ian Maatsen at right-back, perhaps try that. But Marc Cucurella really gave it his all today, and there was even a moment in the game where there was a proper 50-50 challenge. Referee let it go, but both players properly collided with each other. No one got injured, of course. They were both just trying to go for the ball, and it wasn't like a foul. It was a proper 50-50 challenge that I think the commentator said it during the game. We haven't seen this in years. It was a proper... it was a Brexit tackle. Great stuff from Cucurella, and I'm so glad to see him performing to a level that I always knew he could, because Marc Cucurella, maybe he had a point to prove actually because he was playing against Brighton, but Marc Cucurella at Brighton was one of, if not the best left back in the league. And to see him drop off so harshly at Chelsea following the Todd Boehly acquisition of the club, he was one of the first players they brought in to really, I think it was mainly I was about to say something like a measuring contest, another word for that, but to show Man City that Todd Boehly's serious. As I said, to see him playing so well, and I don't know if this is going to raise his value. It probably will do if we continue to play him and he continues to put out good performances, because I think he is looking for a move away in January. And there could be some interesting stuff happening in January, but I'll get to that at another time. But I would prefer to keep him, especially if he's playing at this level. He's a bit more... I think he's 25 years old, so he's probably one of the more senior defenders we have, up there with the likes of Axel Disasi and Thiago Silva, of course. Ben Chilwell now is out injured, but I think he could be a really good asset to the side. Reece James obviously come back. Malo Gusto could come back. So if that right back position isn't available, he could always play at left back. Again, he showed today that he does have that lion in him. He does have it in him. Sometimes just maybe the occasion or maybe the way he's treated behind the scenes is kind of bringing him down. But if we're able to keep him playing at this level, I say start him. I say start him at left back. Reece James should be back very soon. Imagine that, a nice back line. Imagine if everyone was healthy of Marc Cucurella, Colwill, Fofana, Reece James. That would be lovely, wouldn't it? Ideal world, but I don't think that would ever happen. One, because Cucurella will probably be sold in the January window. And two, I don't know what Wesley Fofana's future is at the club, but that's a topic for another day. We do have Blackburn Rovers in the 4th round for the Carabao Cup, the EFL Cup. I was very worried for this game, actually. I predicted us to lose 2-0, and there were certainly times when we should have gone 1 or 2-0 down, but Sanchez made a few good saves. Again, Sanchez, I don't want to focus on the negatives too much. He was a good shot stopper, but his distribution, which is one of the reasons why he was brought in, was very poor. And I thought maybe George Petrovic could be given a chance yesterday, but didn't happen. So maybe he'll get a run of games against Fulham. I don't know. We'll see what happens then. But I think that's about it for the after party. As I said, I don't want this to drag on too long. I just want it to be a general kind of after party kind of feeling. We've all felt the excitement. I didn't want to do it straight after the game. As I said, I like to compose my thoughts, and the last time I did it straight after a game, yeah. So thank you all so much for watching. I've been The Quick Take, and I'll catch you on the next one. See you later.